This is the Smash Beer Elite Stocks Crown Jewel of Arla competition, here for race 5 out of 17, the Roberto Semi-Hot Salsa 100 from the Lowe's Motor Speedway. The pole winner was the number 86 of Jim Racer, who was making his debut this week. He got off to a great start and led the first few laps. We have another TM Master Cup Series driver making his first Arla start this week. Tom Delgado in the 37. He almost won the qualifying race and started in the middle of the pack. Arlo legend Andy Pearson came out of retirement this week. He will run the rest of the season in the number 72 for O&D Racing. A few laps into the race, Kurt Walker would take the lead from Jim Razor with the help of Kevin Colley and Scott Hamilton, and then Colley would take it from Walker. Caution 1 would fly on lap 9. James Weston, 69, is going to turn Charlie Waters into the wall. Tom Delgado gets a piece of it, and then Harry Enola is going to peg the 69. Waters would have to drop out of the race. On the restart, Kurt Walker dove to the inside of Kevin Colley to take the top spot, and then Ronald Porter would snatch it from Walker a few laps later. Caution 2 flew on lap 15. Travis Keating carries Mike Andrews into the wall, collecting Chris Johans and Bob Steffens. Then Harry Enola comes and slams into the 23. Andrews would drop out of the race, and Harry Enola would go a lap down. Enola was way off the pace on the restart and held up most of the field. Allie Riggs in the 19 was reportedly seen giving Enola the finger as she drove by. Meanwhile, back up front, Ronald Porter was still in the lead, trying to hold off the 08. As Colley tried to pass Porter, Jason Bates came in and made it a 3-wide battle for the lead. However, as you're going to see, the middle groove is the faster line, and Colley wins the battle. And then Kurt Walker made it 3-wide once again as Bates tried to pass Colley for the top spot. If you look to your right, you'll see that Allie Riggs and Ricky Navarro caught up to the leaders. Walker would take the lead away from Bates. And then in no time at all, Allie Riggs shot up into the lead. More problems for the leaders. Harry Enola holds up the field as they come by to lap him. This would allow the likes of Rob Ryder and Allie Riggs' older sister Leslie to sneak up into the top 5. Meanwhile, Allie Riggs extended her lead to about 8 car lengths over Ronald Porter. A little past halfway through the race, caution 3 would fly in lap 31. Coming through turn 4, Matt Scarano comes right down on Kevin Colley, getting turned into the wall and into the path of Bobby Fortu. Neji Huga gets collected, and I think Bruno Battaglia got a piece of that as well. Harry Enola once again held up the field on the restart, further angering his competitors. This was the last straw with the officials. They penalized Enola after this incident. Even though he's in the top 30 in points, he will have to run the qualifying races for Talladega. As leaders were breaking away from the rest of the pack, Rob Ryder gets into the back of Ronald Porter and goes up into the wall. His teammate Elizabeth Cargill-Smith would blast by him and get into the top 5. A few laps later, she clawed her way up to second, and at that point, there were no male drivers in the top 3. The next caution flew with 15 laps to go. The wildest incident of the day happened when Mitchell Hill and Scott Hamilton turned each other around. Will Schweg has nowhere to go and plows into the 13. Ricky Navarro hits a 3 and Neji Huga flips him over. Michael White hits Schweg, he goes over. The 03 hits the 11 and so does the 32. This is by far one of the most violent wrecks in Arla history. Now let's see what happened to Ricky Navarro. There's trouble starting. Then he runs into the 3 and gets hit by the 11. Navarro goes onto his roof, hits the 82. There goes the 82 tumbling. Navarro gets hit by the 21. Then hits the grass and does another flip for good measure. Now let's see what became of Will Schweg. There goes the 3 and the 13. Runs into the 13 and collects a 64 and the 39. Here comes the 0 and he's going to go tumbling. Then he gets hit by Mario Franchetti and Vinny Enzo and lands on his wheels. There goes the 32 flipping, and the 11 knocks the 64 over. Now we're looking at what happened to Huga. Gets into the 34 and goes into the wall. Tom Delgado gets a piece of that. Now here comes Dale Underwood and Kakashi Hatake. They both hit him in the driver's side door. The 32 goes upside down, and the 11 knocks over the 64. Everyone checked out at the infield care center except for Neji Huga and Will Schweg. We have no word on their medical condition so far. Meanwhile, here's a big surprise. Harry Enola holds up the field on the restart again. Many fans and teams argued that he should have been called off the track at this point. Back at the front, it appears that Elizabeth Cargill-Smith gets a run on Allie Riggs, but it doesn't work. However, the 60 would not be held back, and she got on the inside of the 19 and took the lead. But then Riggs proved that she was the driver to beat that night, took the lead back from Cargill-Smith, and then took her first career Smash Beer Elite Stocks victory. Just on a couple of side notes here, this is the very first win by a rookie this season, and this is the first time CJ drivers have finished 1, 2, 3 since the 2005 Smash Beer 100. Rob Ryder and Jason Bates finished 4th and 5th, making this a rather surprising top 5. Two more surprises up there are Elizabeth Cargill-Smith and Tristan Roberts. Vinny Enzo, Jared Anderson, and Ryan Baldwell round out the top 10. And here are your top 10 in points. The top 2 positions have surprisingly remained unchanged from last week, and we have a tie for the points lead. Anthony Griffith and Kevin Monroe both have 340 points. Jared Anderson moves up to 3rd, and Leslie Riggs, with her 3rd place finish, blasts all the way up into 4th. Kurt Walker is running 5th, and it looks like he's doing a very nice job in pulling double duty in the TM Master Cup Series and Arla. 6th is Mario Franchetti, and Kevin Colley moves up into the top 10. Matt Sgrano, Manuel Ortiz, and Dale Underwood are still in the top 10. The next race is the Bait and Stuff 100 from the Talladega Super Speedway, which will be broadcast live, flag to flag. This is CJ, signing off.